I will now turn class time over to Heather. Thank you for your time. And Heather, I've just started recording.
All right, great. Thanks. Hey, everybody. Welcome to class. I'm super excited to be with y'all here today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Heather Kell, and you can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the places under Kell of a Plan. So Kell is my last name, Kell of a Plan. That's where you can find me on social media if you're not already following me there. Today, I'm going to be hosting a class with the Happy Planner, and it is all about how to get the most out of your mini Happy Planner. So we're going to be talking all about the mini. Before we get started, there's a few things I want to remind you guys of. Like Kelly was mentioning, you could talk in the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to go to the chat or just go there to talk to each other. If you have a specific question that you want to ask, maybe about what I'm doing or a product that I'm using or anything related to the class, you can ask that question in the chat. Marielle from Mom and a Girl with Plans is here with us today. And if she knows the answer to your question, she's going to respond to it in that chat when you ask it. If it's a question that is specific to me, Marielle's going to make note of that and she'll ask it. If it ties into what I'm doing in the class, she might ask it while I'm teaching, but if not, she's going to hold it for the end of the class when we do a Q&A session. So if you hear a voice from above, all of a sudden talking to me, it's going to be Marielle. So just don't be afraid if she starts talking. But yeah, if you have a question, throw it in the chat and she will either answer it or she'll save it to ask me at the best time. And also, like Kelly said, if you can't stay for the whole time, this class is being recorded and it will be on michaels.com in about 24 hours. So you can watch it again if you love it so much that you want to see it again, or if you have to leave early and you want to catch the end, then you can watch it there as well. So again, this class is all about how to make the most of your mini Happy Planner. So I'm going to have Kelly go ahead and flip the camera to my overhead screen, and then I'm going to pull this camera down, and we are going to get started talking about the mini Happy Planner. So if you are new to the Happy Planner, you may not even realize this, but the Happy Planner comes in multiple sizes. The classic size is probably the most used planner, and that one has 9 discs. And let me pull one out so I can show you. This is the size of a classic planner. This is my old one. It's from 2019. But this class specifically, we're going to be talking about the mini Happy Planner. So I wanted to show it to you in relation to a classic so that you can see the size difference in case you're not familiar with that. And the mini has 7 discs, whereas the classic has 9, okay? And it is quite a bit smaller than your classic planner. Mini planners are great for so many different reasons. There's so many different ways that you can use a mini. So I always tell people when you grab a mini planner, or any planner for that matter, the first thing you need to do is you need to decide how are you going to use the planner. And there's so many different ways that you can use it. You could use a mini planner as your main planner. Maybe you look at a classic or a big and you think it's too big. You don't have that much stuff to write. So you grab a mini and it's going to be your main planner because you don't have that many things to plan for. That's great and that's totally fine. But there's also so many other ways to use a mini. If you're using a classic or a big as your main planner, this is a great planner to add on for other types of planning. So other ways that I've used it is I've used it for what I call an on-the-go planner, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. You can use it for fitness tracking. You can use it for food tracking. You could use it as a memory planner. You could use it as a quote planner. You could use it as lettering practice. You could use it as a budget planner. There's so many different ways that you can use a mini. So let's kind of start. I want to show you a couple of different ways that I've used a mini in the past, and then we're going to dive into using these 2 minis specifically. So this mini planner here, this was my mini planner in 2019. So it's a little old. This specific planner, you can't buy this specific one anymore because it's older. But I wanted to show you guys how I use this as what I call an on-the-go planner, meaning that I take it with me when I'm on the go. My favorite planner size is a classic planner, but sometimes this planner is hard to take around with you. Maybe you don't carry a big purse or you don't want to have the weight of this bigger planner in your bag, but a mini is like the perfect size to just throw in your purse when you're on the go. But a lot of people will ask me like, well, what do you write in it? versus what do you write in this planner? If I'm going to use two planners, how do I decide what to write in them in ways that make sense, especially because this is a classic and this is a mini. This one I keep at home, the classic size one, and this one I take with me on the go. So you might be like, how do you decide what to write in what planner? So the first thing I want to do today is I just want to kind of talk you through how I use both a classic and a mini, if you want to use this for an on-the-go planner. So again, this is my 2019 planner. I just pulled out an old one to show you. This is what I call my classic planner. This planner stays at home. Anything that's important goes in this planner. So this is from the week of July 29th through August 4th of 2019. And literally, like, anything that was going on this week, I put in this planner. So I have things that I need to do at home. I have things that I need to do on the go, like these appointments. I have errands over here that I need to run. But then you might be like, well, if you're writing your errands over here, then what's the purpose of your mini? Well, for me, the way I use it is I fill this out first. I write down everything that's going on that week. And then I pull this out and I write down anything that I need to remember to do or to be somewhere when I'm not at home. So like here, I put that I had a nail appointment at 11 and that I needed to go, and then I have grocery shopping here. So I do have both of those written in my catch-all, but then here I have my nail appointment, post office, Michael's. So you can see it's like errands that need to be run. Here I have that I'm going to do Etsy orders at home. This is when I used to have an Etsy shop. I'm going to cut, package, and fulfill them. And then here on the go, you see that I have drop off Etsy orders. So this is more of like what I need to do at home. And this is what I need to do when I'm out and about. So this stays in my purse and I pull it out when I'm out and about on the go. And like one thing I love to do in my on the go planner is when I have a grocery list, a lot of times in my planner, I'll even write C list. I'm trying to see if I did that this week. It doesn't look like I did, but a lot of times I'll write like Target C list, and then I'll write my list on a piece of paper like this, and I'll punch it, or I'll use a pre-punched page, and then I pop it into my on the go planner so that it's in here. And now that I'm looking at this, yeah, this was a shopping list for Target because I was going out of town this weekend, but it's in my on the go planner. And so as you flip through, you'll kind of see that everything in my mini in this particular one was things that I needed to do when I'm not at home. So again, when I use this as an on the go planner, I typically fill this in first, and then I would grab this and I would write anything that I need to remember when I'm not at home. I don't know about y'all, I have a terrible memory. If I don't have it written down, I'm probably going to forget to do it. So this is just really helpful to me to be able to plan everything I need to do for the whole day. And then when I'm out and about, I can pull this out and make sure that I'm doing all the errands, that I'm meeting the person that I need to meet, that I'm just doing everything that needs to be done while I'm not at home and not near this planner. So that's one way to use your mini, is as an on-the-go planner. Another way, let me move these, that you can use your mini planner is a fitness planner. So this is a fitness planner I use. This one says 2017. So this one's pretty old, but they do have they still make this same layout. So this is the current one that you can get at Michael's. It's undated, which is great because that means you can pick it up and start using it anytime you want to. You don't have to wait for a new year or a new week or a new month. It's undated. Pick it up, start your fitness journey any day that you're ready to jump in. That's the great thing about it being undated. But this was my fitness planner in 2017. On the monthly view, I wrote something that I was proud of that day, or kind of a reflection of the day. And then you could tell this one is not decorative. A lot of my planners are super pretty, but I like to say my planners are pretty but practical. They're very pretty, but they are still practical. They still help me get things done. This one is not necessarily that pretty. For me, it's more like get it down, get it done, because it's fitness. Now they do make fitness sticker books where you can make it pretty and fun, but I was more about just, getting it done. And so here I tracked my food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, and then exercise and water. The layout is a little bit different now in the fitness planner. They have today, priority, food log, and exercise. So they've kind of changed it up some as the years have gone by, because again, this one is pretty old. But I just wanted to show y'all a way to use your mini if you wanted to take this on the go. Now, the great thing about a mini fitness planner versus a classic size one, because they do make classic size. This is my current planner. Okay. So let's say that I want to start a fitness planner, but maybe I don't want to carry around this whole planner at one time. You could just take out the month or even the week that you're working on, because even though it's mini, it still can be popped into your classic or your big planner. So even though it's a smaller size, you could still pop it in here and then just have the week or the month that you want in your main planner. And it's not going to take up a lot of room, but it's there in case you don't want to have like a whole separate planner. And then when the month is done, you could just pop it back over here. And then that way, you still only have one planner, and you're just taking out what you need from here. We're going to talk more about that idea. We call that Franken Planning in a little bit, but that is another way that you can use a mini. Now, you don't have to have a mini fitness planner in order to have a mini fitness planner. You could, and when I say fitness planner, I'm talking about, this is actually like a fitness planner layout. So it says today, priority, food log, exercise. But you could, like here is a mini that is a vertical layout. So with this one, you could turn this into a fitness planner. If you didn't want to deal with dating it, or if you didn't like this layout, you can make this be a fitness planner. Maybe each row, you just do your own thing. Like you could say food, exercise, today, and write like a reflection down here. And you can change up the layout to make it work for you, because you might have a mini laying around that you want to use as a fitness planner and you don't want to go out and buy the fitness one. So you can make what you have work. I do want to throw that out there. But if you want one that's just pre-made for fitness, then they do offer that too. And that's at Michael's. I wanted to show you one other mini planner that I used years ago, which is another way to use a mini. This one's pretty old. This was like the first mini that they came out with. This was 2016. So pretty old. But this was a horizontal planner, which this one right here is also a horizontal. That's the layout that's in it. And I love using the horizontal. I'm going to zoom this in some, as a journal, a gratitude journal. So each day at the end of the day, I would just write something that I was thankful for. So it's not actually it's a planner, but it's not actually like, I'm not planning anything in it. I'm just writing it as a gratitude journal. And I loved using it like this. As you can see, I would decorate it some. This one was undated, so I would date it myself. And then I would just, I did it every day. I would write something that I was thankful for. And then it's so fun to kind of flip back and look at what I was thankful for back in, what did I say this was? 2016, 2017, 2016. Gosh, that feels like so long ago. It was also a really good spot. A mini planner is a really good place to practice your lettering as well. You can kind of see that I would letter some of these words, and even looking at my lettering here compared to how it is now, I can see a lot of improvement. So even if you didn't want to do gratitude, a mini horizontal would be a great place to practice your lettering. So maybe this is the current mini horizontal that is at Michael's. They may have more than just this one, but I know this one's there. And I don't remember the name of it, but Marielle can probably drop it in the comments. This one is a horizontal. And like I was saying, if you're into lettering, lettering is very in right now. If you're into lettering, this is a great planner to use to practice your lettering. So maybe like I put out words every month that people can use to practice their lettering. I can't think of what a word would be. I'm like drawing a blank of what a word. Let's say that your word for today is chores and you're practicing this word chores. If you don't have a lettering like paper to practice on, you can just practice on a mini horizontal planner, and you can just practice writing the word in several different ways in this space, because honestly this space is like just enough room to practice different lettering. This marker that I just used is called a Pentel brush sign pen. Another way that some people have used a mini, one of my favorite ways, is some people have used it to record like funny things their kids say every day, which I think is a great idea, especially if you have a mini horizontal, because it's just a great layout for journaling. You could just write something funny that your kids say every day. So those are all kinds of different ways that you can use a memory or a mini planner, even if you don't need it to actually plan something like lettering or gratitude or memories or writing quotes from your kids. None of that is actually planning anything, but it's just ways to use a mini planner in a different way. But let's say you actually do want to use your mini planner to plan something. I'm going to show you a few different ways. First, to set up your mini planner, and then I'm going to show you how you can decorate your mini planner and use it to plan. So first, I'm going to show you, we have these 3 planners. Okay, this one is a vertical layout. This one is a horizontal layout, and this one is a fitness. All 3 of these are currently available at Michael's. This one is called Trust the Process. This one is called Something and Doodles, I don't remember. And then this one is called Take Time for Fitness. So one thing that I love doing, mini planners come on mini discs. These are small discs. Sometimes that there's not enough room on those discs to actually do what you want to do. So one thing you can do, Michael sells expander discs that you can buy. I don't know if they have these white ones. These were just ones that I had that I grabbed, but they have several colors. I was at Michael's earlier today checking it out. They have tons of different colors. And so you can pull off your cover, put your bigger disc. These are the classic size discs. And you can do this idea with any size planner. So whether you use a mini, a classic, or a big, you could do what I'm about to do with any size, okay? So maybe you want to have the horizontal, and you're going to use it for planning or lettering or memory keeping or gratitude or however you decide to use it. And you could put a few months on at a time. So I'm going to do maybe 3 months, July, August, and September. And I probably should have showed you how I just pulled these off. I'll show you on the next one. If you're not familiar with discs, you may not know how I just did that. So I'm putting 3 months on. The way I did that, in case you don't know, is you go to the month, you start at the top, you pull it up and towards you, and you pull it off just like that. And then you can take it and just pop it right back onto the disc. You can do 2 at a time, although it sometimes gets a little thick. I wouldn't do more than 2 at a time. And then just pop them onto the discs. Okay, so that is the vertical. And what I'm doing right now is what we call Franken Planning. I think I actually taught at Michael's class last month on Franken Planning. So if you want more info on that, feel free to check that class out. It should be on michaels.com. And then I'm going to take one of the fitness ones and I'm going to put it in the back as well. So now what I've done is I've combined 3 different planners and I put it on bigger discs and I have it on one set. Now, it still is, the discs are a little big. I probably could have left it on minis, but what I can do is I can take mini note paper. This is all mini note paper that I've just saved through the years. They probably come from different, they sell like expansion packs of paper. They sell notebooks with paper, and I just kind of save them all and put them on this one set of discs. But you could take a bunch and put it in the back. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a list maker. I make lists all the time. Things I need to do today, things I need to buy at the store, things that I need to call my friend about, things I need to do for work. I love making lists. I'm such a list maker. So I love to have paper in the back of my planner in case I ever want to make a list. I just love to just keep some in the back of my planner. And then I saw someone comment that sometimes they don't like the front of their cover, and you could just flip it over. So if you're someone who's like, I don't really like the outside cover, be sure to look at the inside cover, because you might like the inside cover and you could just flip it around and it looks completely different. Okay. So that's a little tip if you don't like your covers. Okay. So that is just one way to set up your mini or whatever size planner you're using to really make it work for you and to be the kind of setup that you want. And so now what I want to do is I want to show you how to decorate a mini, because this can be kind of tricky. Like I mentioned earlier, my planners are pretty, but they're also practical. So I want to show you ways to make your planner pretty but practical, even though it's a mini planner. There aren't very many sticker books that are sized for a mini planner. Most of them, as from the Happy Planner, are sized for a classic or a big. Most of them are not sized for mini. There's been a few, but it's not super common. And I tell people all the time when they ask me about it, because I have people ask me all the time, how come there's not any mini stickers? Where can I get mini stickers for my planner? I try to tell people the size of the sticker book doesn't matter. You can use any size sticker in any size planner. So I want to show you that today. And I'm going to do that using some stickers that aren't at Michael's yet. These will be at Michael's when the back to school launch releases at Michael's, which should be later this month. So be sure to be checking out your local Michael's store for when the back to school release happens. It's always super popular. And that should be later in May. So all three of these sticker books will be at Michael's later this May. And I'm going to show you how you can use them in a mini, even though they're sized for a classic and a big. So this one is called Teacher Florals, and it is sized for a classic teacher planner. This one is called Fancy Florals, and it is sized for a big teacher planner. This one is called Seasonal Type. It's a really pretty seasonal sticker book, and it is sized for a big teacher planner. Okay. Oh, sorry, I hit my camera. All right, so let's start with the classic size. Okay. Even though this is classic and these are mini, you can use these in this planner. And even though these are technically sized for a teacher planner, you can still use them in your mini because the size of your stickers doesn't really matter. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, I love florals. If you follow me on Instagram or YouTube, then you already know this. But I'm going to take some of these watercolor florals and we're going to decorate this spread. We're going to make it pretty but still practical. Okay, so I'm going to take this really pretty floral sticker. I'm going to let it go off the page some. And I'm going to grab a pair of scissors. And then I'm going to trim it right along that edge and right along that edge. Then I like to save the part of the sticker that I just cut off, because you could place it in other places. So I can take this one and I could put it over here, let it run right down this edge. Okay, and then maybe we could take this one and we could put it like this. I love floral stickers because they just make it so easy to decorate with your planner. They're just so pretty. And it just makes decorating so easy. So then I'm going to take this extra piece and I'm going to put it down there. You never waste a good floral sticker. Okay, and then I feel like I need one up here as well. So we're going to put this here. And we're going to cut it like that. And then I have this piece. And I think I'm going to put it right here. Looks like I didn't cut this very well down here. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip through this sticker book and I'm going to look for stickers that coordinate with the colors that I have in these florals, and that still work for a mini. So like this one that says remember, this sticker technically fits in a teacher box, in a teacher classic, but it also fits perfectly in this little box right here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it right there. And it fits like perfectly right there. Okay, then I'm going to flip. I really like this purple one. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over here. Layer it on top of that floral. Then I can take this box sticker. I love to layer boxes, even if like this one right here is half on Monday, but mostly on Tuesday. So I would write something in here that's happening on Tuesday, even though it's partly on Monday. That doesn't bother me. Then I could take this blue one and I could create a, it's kind of like a bluish purple actually, create a similar look over here. let's see here. Flipping through, I'm trying to look for something different besides box stickers. There's a lot of box stickers. Ooh, I love these banner stickers. So these, let me grab. I like to use these tweezers to place small stickers. You can find these in the jewelry section at Michael's. They're just like long stemmed tweezers. And I like to use these as bullet points. And I turn them to the side, and then you can place them like this. And they make really good bullet point stickers. So then if you have like 2 things you need to do on Wednesday, that's what those are good for. And then I could take the same color. Whoops. I could do the same thing over here on Friday. Okay. And again, all these planners I've used so far are technically sized for a classic, but they're working fine in my mini. So then I could take this one. Here's another. This one's a long box that's going to cover multiple days. So I could put this here. And then what I would use this sticker for, because it's covering part of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, and some of Thursday. So I would probably use this in my on-the-go planner as like a grocery list or a shopping list. That way it's like I can make my list over the course of these 3 days. And whenever I have time to go to the store, then I have my list there. Because maybe you don't know exactly what day you're going to go to the store. So that's what I would do with that sticker. You could put this one over here and make the same look, but that might be a little too many boxes. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Honestly, this is already pretty good. You don't want to go too sticker crazy because, like I said, I like to keep it pretty, but also practical. And so if you cover your whole thing in stickers, then you run out of room. I do think I'm going to take this quote sticker right here. I was going to put it there because that's technically my birthday, July 8th, but it won't fit. So I'm just going to put that back. Okay, so that is how I would decorate a mini horizontal using a classic size sticker book. And then I would obviously fill it in with my pen. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to put this page back. And I'm going to get this page. And we're going to do another mini spread, but this time I'm going to show you how to do it with big stickers, because those that we just used were sized for a classic. These are sized for a big. So they're going to be a lot bigger. So you kind of have to think through how you're going to place these stickers a little bit more, because they're going to take up a lot more room, which is fine. You just have to think it through before you start putting stickers down. So I love these big checklist stickers. And I like to cover over here where it says this little box, because I don't ever use that. So you could take this big sticker, lay it down, and just let it take up a big part of your spread. And then you could also take another one. A lot of times if I have something on this side of the page, I like to have it on this side of the page too. So over here, maybe I want to put this, but I don't want it to be as big as this one, because that's a pretty big sticker. So maybe I decide, okay, I'm going to cut it like this, and then I'm going to take this sticker, I'm going to put it back in the book in case I want to use it later. This I cut a little crooked. I'm going to go in here, try and cut it a little straighter. Apparently I'm not cutting very straight today. There we go. So then I could take this and I put it over here. That way I have the same look, but it's not such a big sticker on both sides. Don't be afraid to cut your stickers. All right, let's see. I'm going to go to the beginning of this book. Let's see, this one has a lot of box stickers. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything besides boxes. We have some of these banner stickers. Oops, these are a little bit bigger than the banner stickers that I used from the classic book. So this one I would probably put more like this. And then I could grab a pen. And I could write to do like that. And then I could take these little dot stickers. And I could line these up here. Like, even though this isn't a big book, these fit in whatever size planner, because look how these are pretty small actually. Okay, so you can use those to make a little to-do list for the day. Here, this sticker says goals. Kind of like that for this right here. This could be my goals for the day. So I'm gonna put that there. Then I'm gonna get another one. And I'm going to put it right here. It kind of looks like I'm turning this into like an all pink spread. So with that in mind, I think I want one of the boxes that we looked at earlier. So like this one says top 3. And you could take this and kind of layer it like that. And then you could take this one. I was going to put it over here, but it's going to run into that to-do list that I made. So because this kind of brought in gold, I'm going to bring in this gold leaf. Put it over here. Now, if you're someone who you want the boxes to fit in the boxes, then using big stickers in a mini won't be something that you'll want to do. But if that doesn't bother you, then these work fine. And it doesn't bother me to overlap boxes. I kind of like the look of it, but it's totally up to you and your preference when it comes to planning. I really want to put like a title box. Here we go. We got a gold title box that we could put here. So now we're going with pink and gold. I'm going to take this one that says bloom where you are planted. And I'm going to put it here. All right, so you could obviously keep going with this, but that's really cute the way that's turning out. So then you can just take your pages, pop them back in the disc. One thing to point out, like here, my leaf sticker went over the hole. The way to fix that is if you have a Happy Planner punch, which they sell at Michael's, you could just take it, line it up, line up the holes, and then repunch it. And then you can pop it back on your desk like that. Okay, so that is a mini horizontal using big stickers. I also, in this planner, put in mini vertical. So we could do a spread with this, but Mario, can you let me know what time it is? I'm not sure how much, if I have time to do another spread. I don't have a clock.
Hello, it's 3:36, Heather.
Okay, so we're going to do this really, really fast, and then we'll go to the Q&A, because this won't take me that long. So this is a mini vertical, and these are big stickers. This can be hard to do in a mini vertical because your space is so much more limited because of the skinnier boxes, but it is totally still doable. You just maybe have to play around with it a little bit more. So again, this one is the seasonal type that I'm about to use. And I'm going to show you how you can use big stickers in a mini planner. So first off, I can't believe I'm about to use these because I love them. And I sometimes hoard stickers that I love, but that's okay. So we have, this is a pretty big box. This fits a teacher big planner. But if you were to lay it down like where part of it is going into this column over here, then that could work. Or you could put it over here on the weekend and let it take up like 2 boxes on the weekend. And then that could be like your errands or something like that that you need to do over the weekend. You could do the same thing like here. I have this. This is the same sticker, but a circle. And so you could take this, and again, you could do like half of it going on to Monday and half of it in the column. That way it's not taking up like Tuesday, or you could have it take up Tuesday if you want. You could also cut the sticker in half. Like here, you could see I cut this sticker in half, and you could just use half of it if you wanted to. Let's see. I kind of like the idea here. Actually, I'm going to take a different color. Like here is a checklist, and it says today, but you could layer it on top of this circle sticker like this. And then it's mostly on Monday. It does overlap into Tuesday a little bit. So then up to you, you could write things that you need to do on Monday and Tuesday, or you could just write things you need to do on Monday. If you're someone who doesn't like your stickers to overlap the boxes, this obviously won't work for you. But if you're someone like me who doesn't mind if they overlap, then it's a super cute way to use these stickers. This would be really cute as a header, like over here, to bring in more of this color. And you could layer it like that. Let's see. We could take a cute quote sticker like this. This says choose joy. I'm actually going to trim this a little bit, cut off part of the Y, because then I could line it up right along the edge like that. That way it's mostly taking up Wednesday, but I could come back in here and grab this, and you could use this as like a checklist for the day. And then you could put your own check boxes in there. So that's another way you could do that. Let's see. I wonder if this will come up. Okay, so I have this sticker that coordinates really well with this. I was going to see if there was a pink sticker. Okay, so we could take this one, layer it like this. I'm going to see if I can pull this back up a little bit. Okay, it's not coming back up. So what I'm going to do instead, I wanted to make this go under a little bit because if I put it here, it's taking up too much room. But instead, I can just cut it to make it smaller. And then I'm going to layer it like this. This way it looks like it's peeking out. Just adds more color. I can put this party sticker. Maybe you're planning for a party and these are the things you need to do before the party starts. Anyway, that's just a few examples. Obviously, these stickers are really big in the mini, but it creates like a really cute, I think it creates a really cute look. And then you could come in with these little dot stickers that are also here, and you could put them in as little bullet points. Okay, so that's another way to use big stickers in a mini. So now I'm gonna have Kelly switch it back to my front face, and Marielle can ask me any questions that you guys might have had throughout the class. So I'm ready when you are, Marielle, if there were any questions.
Hello. Thanks, Heather, for showing us all the different layouts and ideas using the stickers and ways to use the planner. We had a lot of questions around actually different layouts. So I don't know if you've got one handy, maybe not a mini, even if you perhaps showed a classic, because it's still the same layout, just a little bit shrunk down. But lots of people were asking about dashboard layouts. And I don't know if you've got one of those handy. They weren't sure. I think a lot of people have gotten dashboard minis and they just weren't sure on how they can use those, a dashboard layout per se, as well as, you know, how you use stickers in those. So I told them I wasn't sure if you had one, but I would ask the question.
Yeah, so one thing that I do a lot in the dashboard, so this is from 2019. A lot of times Kelly, can we actually flip it back over so that this is shown on the screen? Sorry. It might be easier just to do it this way though.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I will cover the left side and I'll make my own boxes because the boxes that they put on there I don't necessarily love, but I love these boxes. So this is an example of a dashboard layout that I did for Thanksgiving. Here's another dashboard layout. Again, I covered the side. I just think it's fun and creative to kind of cover that side a lot. And even now, I still do it in a lot of the dashboard planners that I use. This is another dashboard layout I did where I wanted it to be like a blackout spread. So I cut out the daily pages and put them over here, but then I made my own dashboard on this side. I'm trying to see if there's actually a dashboard layout where I didn't change the left. Like you see almost every time I change the left side. But that's just because I hate when in a planner, it tells me what to write in the box, and in the dashboard layout, it tells you what goes in every box. Like it'll say like errands and dinner and things like that. And I like to come up with my own. So you'll see almost every time I use the dashboard layout, I've made my own left side. You don't have to do that, but I'm trying. I don't know if I have an example where I don't change that side though. So I don't know if that helps at all, Marielle, but that's how I usually do.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people do that. It's really easy if you do keep that other side. If it's something that you don't do, like, you know, one of them might say, I'm trying to remember what they say on them, like emails.
Yeah,
you can
like
easily
really
just
easy.
put a sticker over it and
and these,
you know, cover it.
These stickers right here are really, these like header stickers are really great to cover those boxes. So if you don't know what a regular dashboard looks like, let me pull one out because I do have one. So this is a mini dashboard, and this is what I mean when I say it tells you what to put over here. So it says errands to buy, calls, bills to pay. Which obviously, if you don't want to use it for that and you want to use it for something else, I love to use these box stickers because it's super easy to just take this and like cover up where it says bills to pay. And then I could put whatever header I want in that spot and use that box for whatever I want. So there's obviously different solutions to keeping this page because it is a really good page. And I like that it's split up like this. I just like the extra creativity of like making my own left side page. So all right, Kelly, you can pull it back.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And it's very easy to just customize them and make them your own.
Yeah.
Okay, someone else asked regarding the mini that you were just decorating. Like you had mentioned, it is harder to write. It's smaller. What types of ideas do you have for things that you could use the mini for? I think somebody in the chat mentioned maybe a habit tracker, or what kind of different things do you think would be good for that mini vertical?
So for a mini, I like to use it for, you could do it for habit tracking. You could do it for your budget. Like for me, whenever I try to use a whole classic planner for budget planning, I feel like it's just too much space. But if you're trying to get it like a grip on your budget, then a mini planner could be good for that. It's good for fitness tracking. Even if you're just tracking like what you eat, or maybe you just want to track your exercise, you don't have to do like a ton of things. You could use it to do like if you're trying to get into fates planning, but maybe a classic feels really overwhelming, like that's a lot of room to fill out. You could just write a verse a day in the mini, or you could write, one thing you learned from your daily studies, or you could use a gratitude journal. You could use it for writing something funny that your kids said. I really think that a mini is really good if you have an idea for something that you want to track in your life, or you want to get better at, or you want to remember more of, then a mini is a great way to start with that, because it's not like a ton of space. Like maybe you're sitting here and you're like, I really want to start focusing on my fitness, but it could be overwhelming to try and fill out all the space of a classic fitness planner, and then you never do it, so you just give up. But a mini is less space, so you might feel like more successful if you have less space to fill in. And then if you find out that you need more space, you can always move to a classic later. It's the same thing like with a budget. If you're like, I really need to get my budget, a grip on my budget, a mini isn't as much space to fill out. Like for me, I'm the kind of person that my planner has to be filled out, or it like drives me crazy. I hate a blank planner, but you don't always need all that space. And so then it's like, oh, I have all this blank space, and that drives me crazy. So for me, it's like, what are some things in my life that are smaller that I want to track, that I don't necessarily need to commit a lot of space to, but I want to start making that a habit? Using a mini for that is a good place to start.
Oh, that's perfect. Great idea. Okay, we had a couple of questions regarding, this was one I actually didn't realize we had a mini version of, but the color block. Questions about how to use the color block. I don't know if I think one of the princess books might have been a color block, but I don't know if you've got a regular classic color block handy, but they were asking a couple times in regards to how you would decorate or use a color block layout.
So I didn't know that there was a mini color block either.
I didn't either. I said, I don't think there is one, but
there might be. I just didn't know. There's so many planners now, it's hard to keep up with what layouts and what size.
Right.
I do have a few color block classic sizes, and I think that when you use the color block layout, whether it's mini or classic, one thing that you kind of have to decide is, am I going to treat this like it's just a normal vertical planner, and I'm going to ignore kind of those shaded blocks that it has, and I'm just going to decorate it like I would a normal vertical? That's what I do sometimes. Because if you don't know what the color block layout is, you may not know what we're talking about, but it's basically a layout that has like 7 spots for the day. I think it's 7, and it's like a different color as the boxes go down. So it's like pink, white, pink, white, pink, white. So it's like a pattern. So you could ignore the pink, white, and just say like, these 2 boxes are my top box, and these 2 boxes are my middle box. And so that's one way you could do it, is just pretend like it's a vertical layout with some extra color in it. Or you could I think that the color block layout is really good for people who need to break up their planning and assign certain spots of a planner to certain things in their life. So like maybe the first row is for fitness, and the second row is for work, and the third row is for gratitude, and the fourth row is for emails that you need to respond to, or whatever it is. I think it's really good for people who need like a specific spot to write specific things. It's also a really good layout for like students, because you can assign a class period to each row. I think it is a harder layout to use if you're like, I'm super used to the vertical layout. That's been my personal preference since 2015. I've been using that layout as my main planner. So for me, it's really hard for my brain to like switch to all of these little boxes. But if your brain works that way, then I always tell people like the layout that you choose is totally based on you and the way you think. And so you might look at a color block layout and be like, that doesn't make any sense, I would never use that. But other people might look at it and say, oh my gosh, this is the layout I've been looking for. It's exactly what I need. Because planning is all about picking a layout that works for the way you think and the way your brain works. And so I would just say, if you really want to use a color block layout, you need to kind of decide what you want to plan for in your life, and then how you're going to use the different spots in the planner to plan for those things. So that's what I would tell people, no matter what layout you want to use, write down the things you want to plan for in your life, the habits you want to make, the things you want to get a hold of, a better grip of on your life, and then look up the layout that you chose and decide what you're going to put in each spot to track those things. So whether that's color block or vertical or horizontal or whatever layout you choose, you have to decide how you're going to use it. And it's really hard for me to sit here and say, this is how you use a color block layout, because the things I plan for in my life are different from the things you plan for in your life. And so, I mean, it's going to be different based on what you need to plan for, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think too, with the color block layout and some of the discussion that was going on in the chat, it's used a lot in teacher planning. And it is because there's separate subjects and things that you need to track. But some people have said, like, if you've got multiple things that you do need to track, like that are very separate. So like you could have each kid on a line, or, you know, like you said, you could have fitness as one line, or your work activities. Just if you need it very segmented, the color block is good to visually and also in your planner, keep those all separate. So,
and I think it's also good for like people like me. I use multiple planners, right? Like I have a work planner, I have my catch-all planner, I have my faith planner, because in my mind, everything is separated. So I just have a separate planner, but that might overwhelm some people, and they might be like, okay, I think separately like that. I need everything separated, but I don't want to manage 4 planners. And so the color block layout is good for someone who thinks separately or compartmentalized like that, but doesn't want to manage a ton of planners, because like you said, you could compartmentalize based on the different rows. Instead of having 4 planners, you have this row dedicated to work, and this row dedicated to this kid, and this row is dedicated to my verse of the day, and this row is my fitness planner. Like, so it's if you're someone who thinks compartmentalized kind of like I do, but you don't want to juggle that many planners, that's a good layout to use as well. It would be a little harder to decorate just because there's not a ton of space because of the boxes, but it's also like your planner should be practical before it should be pretty. Of course, I love decorating my planner and making it pretty, but if it's practical for you, then that's really all that matters in the long run.
Yes. Well, there was lots of great idea sharing in the chat. So people were talking about different ways to use them for Bible study, scripture, even for you know, their cars and maintenance and different things.
Yeah,
like
I used to use
one.
I totally forgot about that. I used to use a mini in my car to track mileage for work. So like I would write down the miles before I'd leave on a trip, and then I'd write down what the mileage was when I got done with the trip and things like that. I actually forgot I used to keep one in my middle console in my car for that. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, so there's everybody shared a lot of really great ideas.
It's also really good. It's really good if you get those plastic envelopes and you put them in your mini, and you can keep it in your car for like receipts. If you need to keep receipts for your job, I used to do that too. I would keep a mini in my car, but it was basically just all of those clear envelopes, and then I would stick receipts in it.
That's a great idea, Heather. Always perfect for on the go.
Yes.
Well, I think that's pretty much most of the questions that we had were around layouts, of course, because you did share so much wonderful information. So everybody has been like, thank you for showing how you decorate the different layouts and how you use them.
Perfect. Well, thanks again, guys, for coming to the class. I hope you learned something. If you didn't get to catch the whole class, or if you want to watch it again, remember it will be on michaels.com/classes, and usually 24 hours, sometimes give them 48 if it's not there. And you can watch it as many times as you want, send it to a friend, whatever you want to do. It will be available soon. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Cal of a Plan, both there and on YouTube. Again, thanks for coming, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.